chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Here we are. Too Much Dip live stream. Let me fade this out. KJ normally does this. He's really good at it, but I'm going to do it today. How about that? Because he's not here. KJ's going to Dallas. Did you know that, Dylan?
Ooh, what is he doing there? Is this a work situation?
You know, as I think it's a wife family situation. You know, KJ is a notorious wife guy, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. So it might be one of those things. He's also from the Metroplex. He's an Arlington native. You're aware of that, correct?
Yeah, I am, yes. DeSoto, I believe, is where he spent a lot of time as well.
Yeah, DeSoto, home to a number of people. Errol Spence Jr., Des Bryant's monkey that he used to have.
The Dallas Cowboys are in Arlington.
Are in Arlington, correct, yes.
Yes.
Famously, as is Sherlock's, your favorite pub in Arlington. That's a joke for like 8 people, so I shouldn't have even issued that.
Hey, real exciting. You are recording from our office, and the studio, which was finished, I don't know, about 3 hours ago, is right behind you, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Too bad the light is not turned on in there behind the wash sign. Man, what a scene back there.
That'd be asking a lot of me to get that correct and make this pod go down.
It looks so
good.
Sick.
The paint fumes are currently getting to the dome, but you know what? Small price to pay for a good looking studio and a good live stream. So we got a special guest today. Oh, go ahead.
Before we get to Tron, I want to point out a comment by our friend Ricky, who actually designed this hat. Get you a better look at it.
I think he's talking about mine.
I think he's talking about this one because he designed it. So this is a take on the old university bar style hats that were very popular late 90s, early 2000s. And yeah, we did a Too Much Dip one. Available very soon in the Wash Media shop. Thank you, Ricky.
I think our audience is too young to know this, but there was 2 kinds of hats like that. Two kinds of guys. There was the guys who rocked the South Carolina Gamecocks hat that just said Cox. And then there was the guys who were real jokesters who rocked the Morehead State. Of course, a reference to oral sex, things of that nature.
Of course, you did have the option of just getting, the hat of the school that you supported, which some people did.
You're right.
Some people actually took it seriously, but most of us were just jackasses who did the Cox thing.
I had a friend, and the Cox hat was his like weekend going to the movie theater Friday night. We're gonna go raise hell at Chili's, and then we are absolutely going to the movies. And he would just rock that hat into the ground. Let's bring on our guest. You may know him from the Trap Draw podcast, from the No Laying Up universe, just Twitter's own, just a guy who gets out there. He's a friend of the show. I think this is his first time doing the live stream. Let's bring him on and let's do it seamlessly because we're good at this and we're professionals.
I can none other. Can we do it?
Yeah, I do it. I'll do the overlay. Thanks, man.
Oh, I got to take the comment down. And there we go. Now we're perfect. What's up, Tron?
Love it. Hello, guys. How are you? For the record, I was one of the ones that had the Morehead State hat.
Of course you did.
I think I also had a Long Beach State. I don't know if they were the dirt bags at the time, but I had that one as well.
Dirt bags.
Yeah.
Yes, I think yes. Yeah, Landry actually just said, "Don't forget about the Long Beach State dirt bags." There in the comments. By
Landry's
the way,
like
we had we had your buddy DJ Pie on last night to the circling back live stream, and he did a fantastic job. So you have some pretty big shoes to fill.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, I don't sound like shit. Our power just came back on about an hour ago. I fired up the grill. We're still kind of in the bands of the hurricane here in Jax.
Yeah.
So,
I asked DJ how you were doing last night, not even thinking about the fact that you might be in Ian's path. So I apologize for the insensitivity, but hopefully you guys are handling things well and everybody's safe.
Yeah. No, all good. Kind of got knocked down across the state here. So it's more or less just a shitty nor'easter at this point.
Okay.
But the big hazard is the kids are out of school. So 2 or 3 straight days where you can't go outside and the kids are at home is it's not good. So
Yeah.
Well, let me
Well,
just
glad you guys
say,
are okay.
I asked DJ a question last night, and I'm going to ask you the same question, even though I know the answer. But, Tron, what'd you have for dinner?
Oh, we had. I've been cooped up all day, so I went to Costco. No free ads. I'm sorry. I wish I had some Vizzy. I'm drinking red wine, but I went to Costco yesterday morning and got a bunch of prime fillets. Cooked those tonight. Got bok choy, shiitake mushrooms, and kind of like a little like roasted corn thing as well, and some kohlrabi. Kohlrabi, very, very underrated vegetable. Kohlrabi and blue cheese salad. So
Tron, I don't want to break text message etiquette, but I've got to share this with the class.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people are, or very few people, I would say, are putting together a meal of this nature in storms such as Ian. But Tron doesn't care. Tron's different.
I'm wondering how many people you were feeding. I believe I counted 3 bottles of wine on the table.
yeah. We started drinking. My wife and I started drinking at 4 p.m. today. We waited until 4 p.m. That was a very adult decision on our part. It was a long, long, long day. I thought I made way too much steak, but our almost 6-year-old Freddie, I think he had like 14 ounces of filet. So just housing them. So
Good for him.
What's your method? Are you a sous vide guy?
you know what? I've never gotten into the sous vide game. I think it's more just it's like very scientific and it very much intimidates me. I'm kind of a like reverse sear. I did like a gangster ghetto reverse sear tonight. Normally I'm like a big green egg guy. I started cooking most of my steaks on the cast iron or the Lodge cast iron skillet, and more or less just kind of reverse seared it tonight. Threw it in the oven for like I don't know 15 minutes at 225, 230, and then threw it on the stovetop. Butter, thyme, rosemary, a little bit of olive oil, and then some garlic, and then just kept spooning that over the top of it for 10, 12 minutes. Flipped it, and then another like 6. So
It sounds fantastic.
It's phenomenal. So far, I've just had a cup of cold brew coffee for dinner. So
Yeah.
here we are.
You ate
Look
better-
forward to not
better
sleeping.
than- yeah, my son and I, we actually played our ZA cards tonight, Dave. I wanted to fill you in on that situation. We didn't
What'd you
eat
go
as
with?
well as the Tron family. I let him pick, and he chose Domino's, which was just fine. I enjoyed Domino's.
Domino's thin crust is delightful.
I agree. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you can't get a poppable at Domino's, but it's still good delivery pizza nonetheless.
I'm out on Poppables Day.
He's out, but dude, look at us both doing our Pumpkinhead stuff. Just a couple guys enjoying the 88-degree fall day here.
It's Pumpkinhead season.
Dylan, I was bummed
What's up?
to see the Texas score this past weekend. I'm sorry.
I don't know how much
So
of
is
that
he.
is sarcasm, but yeah, I took it pretty roughly over here. Not the best showing by my Texas Longhorns. It's been a rough ride, Tron. I'm not gonna lie, man. But thank you for pointing that out so I can relive it all over again. Yeah.
That's
Who's
a
your
great
team?
segue. That's a great segue. Can I interject before we hop into it, Dylan?
Yeah.
Apologize, but I do have more on that. But I want to say shout out to our good friends at DraftKings because, as you know, the football season has kicked off. Teams are breaking down film and getting ready for their next game. While teams are working on their game plan, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is drawing up a winning play for all of their new customers. All new customers need to do is sign up using promo code WASHED, bet $5 on any team to win before their game kicks off, and receive an additional $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's right, new customers who bet at least $5 on any team to win their next game will get an additional $200 in free bets if their team wins. Plus, with same-game parlays, you can combine multiple bets from the same game to give yourself a shot at even bigger winnings all season long. For those in a state where sports betting is not available, don't forget about DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where they have been innovating even more ways to win some cash this season. DraftKings has been around for a while, so you know your funds are safe, can be withdrawn whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code WASHED and receive $200 in free bets if their team wins after placing a $5 pre-game wager. That's promo code WASHED only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Oh my God, I just pitched a perfect game.
That was impressive.
Just a
It's
pro.
a good
know
cap,
that's-
Dave.
I know that script well. Our friends at Veritone. It's
Yes.
DraftKings partner, man. Get in there,
Yeah.
make some
And
wagers.
DJ had on a rollback hoodie last night, I believe. A lot of crossover with no laying up and Wash Media. Good stuff.
Indeed. That's a great segue, because Dylan, did you see that there was a players only meeting with your Texas Longhorns? We're like
did.
4 games in.
I know.
It was closed door.
Is this dunk on Dylan and the Texas Longhorns segment? Is that what we're doing here? Yeah, look, things are not good. Look, I mean, I'm trying to keep things in perspective a little bit. Texas 5-7 last year, obviously a terrible season. This year you lose to number 2 Alabama by 1 point. And then you go to Lubbock and you lose in overtime. Props to Tech. They played a great game. That quarterback played his ass off, like I said. Like it looks bad right now at 2-2, but Texas, I believe, is still much better than they were last year. I do. I'm not saying they're going to run the table from here on out or anything, but I think a 7-5, 8-4 season is very much in play at this point, and that is a step up from last year that I will accept.
7-5. You're gonna hang your hat on like.
I'm not going to hang my hat on it. I'm just saying, like, it's a step. It's a step in the right direction. I think 8-4 is possible, but the schedule is also tough.
Are we getting
Oklahoma
Quinn?
State,
Big 12.
Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Kansas State. Kansas is good this year. It's not an easy conference this year.
Bro, Baylor.
Quinn?
Hello.
Baylor,
Yeah,
sorry. It's a lot of
getting-
tough games left.
When are we getting Quinn?
I sneaky think he hits the field this weekend. I really think it's a possibility. I think if he doesn't, OU is very likely. But we have a chance to see him this weekend. And I really need Quinn Ewers back running that offense. It's a completely different offense when he's in the game. No disrespect to Hudson Card, but he's just a very limited quarterback.
Tron. Quinn Ewers, famously of Southlake, Carroll, a powerhouse in the Metroplex and in the state. What's your favorite DFW suburb?
Oh gosh, that's a great question.
You got Grapevine, which has a couple good courses. You got the Cowboys Golf Course, and of course Grapevine Municipal, I believe it's called. Good spot. I'm curious. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I thought maybe you might have some hot opinions on that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna piss some people off here. I tend a lot more towards the Fort Worth side of the Plex. I think there's a lot of fluffers on the Dallas side, personally. My dear late friend, the commish, he was a Plano guy. He went to Jesuit. So I know kind of that side of the Plex a little bit. I'm not as familiar with like straight north and straight south. I know kind of that northeast. But yeah, I would say anything. I would almost consider Fort Worth a suburb of Dallas, and that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I mean it in a very very complimentary way. Of like they're not the main event over there, nor do they want to be the main event, right? So
fair.
I would tend towards that side of the Plex, but I don't know as many of the suburbs over there either. So yeah, in Frisco, I took a lot of heat. First of all, Klein Kubiak, any relation there to
no
Gary and friends?
None at all. That's just our intern Klein. I haven't noticed until just now. His little picture in here is him getting just laid out with his time at Rice. That's a nice choice, Klein.
He's on the Wall of Fame at Rice. He was the owl of the week one time, wasn't he?
He was rated 56 in NCAA football when he was playing, but a hell of a blocker on the outside.
Seriously.
I took a bunch of shit for when during the AT&T last year, dunking all over TPC. I forget the name of it even. Wherever they had the
Craig
PGA
Ranch.
Tour.
Craig Ranch.
Craig T. Nelson, Craig James, the 5 hookers, allegedly, all that stuff.
That's where they're buried, allegedly.
That place sucks. So I guess, Dave, to answer your question, wherever is the opposite side of the plex from TBC Craig Ranch is where I will plant my flag.
Just go play the Dallas City courses. Go play Stevens Park.
Yeah.
I think you'll be very happy. Some of the best in the game, in my opinion. And before we really get into it, I got to ask Tron one other thing. So all the news this week, of course, the eyes of the country have been on our friends at Dude Perfect and their potential new headquarters and amusement park. And I guess my question for you is, what's next for No Laying Up in 2023? Because ball's in your court. When are we going to get something like that from you guys?
Yeah, I think we're probably devolving from that, right? Randy moved out to Denver,
Famously.
DJ last year or last night in Milwaukee. Neil just moved back up to Brooklyn. I think he's paying like $30,000 a month in rent. I don't know why he went up there, and not to mention the taxes and all that. Solly and I are here in Florida for the duration. But yeah, we got to get critical mass somewhere again. I think at some point I'd like to buy a golf course. That would be, or build a golf course somewhere. But yeah, we'll see. It's very, things are moving quickly on our end. Guys are getting married. Guys are probably having kids soon and all that. Whereas I got married, I have 2 kids, and I'm here for the duration. So let's let everybody else catch up, and then we'll kind of talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, the Dude Perfect thing. I was talking to Randy about it on our pod yesterday. It's I guess they're bidding it out, kind of similar to like Amazon HQ2, which seems seems very kind of private equity of them. With the just kind of a weird deal, like looking for some muni funds for it, maybe looking for some stuff. It's
that's the chat effect, man.
Exactly.
That's the hashtag. He just gets in there and gears are turning.
They're calling their shot.
They want it to be a tourist attraction of sorts. So yeah, getting some public funding to host it in their city, I guess. But it looks wild. I mean,
320 foot tower that they can do shots off of. That's a lot, man. I mean, I guess call your shot, but man, you got to have big balls to call that shot. So
again, and I know we launched off the top with this, but I just want to point out that they're doing that, but we're doing this.
Exactly.
Welcome to the world of washed media.
Which you guys are like 6 steps ahead of us on that front. Like we have the Kill House, which might not be standing tomorrow morning by the time we get through this hurricane. It's about 2 blocks from the beach. But like what you guys have done with the build out and the studio and all the branding and everything, very very impressive. Hats off, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you. It went way better than I thought it would, just because I don't know. It just seems like things like this always kind of get screwed up, but it was surprisingly seamless, right, Dylan?
Yeah. We got in that space beginning of April. So yeah, I mean, it's taken us a little bit, almost 6 months, I guess, or about that to get fully moved in. We finally got everything. That's like the final step. So we're like off and running now. Pretty excited about it.
If I may bring it back to sports, before we pick games, have you seen the proposed, I don't know how valid this is, but have you seen the Big 12 expansion rumors?
You talking to
Arizona?
Me?
Anybody. Arizona,
Yeah.
Arizona State, Utah. Who's the other one? There's somebody else. Somebody else is in there, but I don't know. Just thoughts on that.
Right?
Colorado. Yes.
Yeah, they won Colorado, Utah, Arizona State. I think before we get to those, I think we gotta figure out who the next coach at Arizona State's going to be, because I think if anything, it needs to be Urban, right? Urban needs to go to Auburn or Arizona State. I mean, he's a terrible human being. I think he'd fit in quite well there.
Tron, I know you're a Jags guy, or at least I assume you are. What he built there, I mean, it's crazy how it's like paying off now. I mean, you've got a big matchup with the Eagles this weekend. We're actually going to pick that game in a minute, but he laid a foundation, and I know it didn't work out in the end. There was they got a little crossways, personalities, wires crossed, things like that. Yeah. It was maybe a piece of shit. Like, to say some things about Urban, like, give me some positives.
God, I think Urban might be good out in the pack in the Big 12, as far as checking for oil, drilling for oil, that sort of thing. I know you guys do a lot of that out there, as far as
glory holes.
No, just barrel of oil, very, very hot in the streets these days. So we can do that. No, I think Urban. I think his system works on dumb college kids, right? And it'll probably work even better once you have NIL and you can pick up a bunch of, kind of washouts from, one or two other programs that, kind of take the K-State approach, but go even bigger, go to like washouts from that's where I think Auburn or Arizona State are the two perfect places for him. He obviously wants to still be in the game with Fox rehiring him on that front. But no, it's like the stories around here we're out in Ponte Vedra, Jack's Beach. The stories out here of the shit that he pulled in like just 10 short months that he was here are insane, man. I mean, the guy is like a certified human slime ball. It's crazy.
You need to be the change that you want to see, and he totally embodies that, and I love it. I guess the last question I have for you, Tron, before we pick games, have you been named as a defendant in any lawsuits, defamation suits, anything like that in the last 48 hours? You don't have to get specific, and this is all allegedly, and it's also satire.
Yeah, no, again, I'm glad you pointed out the alleged part of that, but I have not actually, and going after such scumbags as Damon Hack. Of course, that's tongue in cheek. Damon's like one of the nicest people in all of golf. Shane Bacon. I feel like if Mr. Clayman, Miss Lady J, and Mr. P are going after these people, like, how am I not getting named in this? But then again, maybe Lady J and I do have a special connection. Maybe there's something there with the used golf facts account and all that. So as of yet, I have not been named formally.
Okay, good. I'd like to. I would not want to be the attorney sitting on the other end of the desk in a deposition with Shane Bacon. I feel like he's gonna hold himself pretty well in one of those things.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like what are the frivolous lawsuit statutes. I don't think they exist in federal court, but like in state courts, it's slap, right? Like there's like the anti-slap statutes to where like if you get basically pinched for filing too many frivolous lawsuits or too many outrageous things, like you're then liable for a big fine and then B, paying everybody else's court costs. I think that's
attorney's fees.
Yeah, that's where
it's at.
The cards here soon.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. You guys want to pick some games? Dylan, you want to pick some games?
Let's jump in, Davey.
Yeah. So sadly, KJ is not here to do the dip picks audio. So just pretend it's here. How about I just mash a random button and we'll see what happens? Oh, is that Juice?
Just say it.
That's a good one. You
Just
can't go
as
wrong
good.
with Juice.
There's not a bad button on this Roadcaster. Like, you could press anything. You could be in spooky season and just mash some cum thunder. Who knows? What are we doing first? By the way, Tron, I don't know if you looked at the rundown very closely to see the records. What we do here is we pick games against the guest, and we're not very good, turns out, especially me.
Yeah, you're struggling. I'm seeing a 6 there.
Correct.
By your name, which is, I think you're the only one in single digits by a long shot.
Yeah, Dave's picking a 22% clip right now. Not strong.
Mm-hmm.
Has Dave been super proud of any of the picks kind of on the shows as of yet? We're like, oh, you know what? I got a good feeling on this one.
I think he knows his place at this point.
It's a bit at this point, and I want to lose. I want to do whatever our punishment is. We might do a combine video or something. I just want to get out there because what I'm gonna do, and I'm serious, if I lose to the guest and I have to do a combine video, I'm taking that company card. I'm getting 6 weeks professional training down at one of these like XUT athlete labs, and I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get a sub 540, and I'm gonna look like a baller in this video, at least on one event. In one event, I will look okay, and that's all. But I am going to lose. I'm terrible at this. I wasn't this bad last year, but things have gone south for me. That being said, first game, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. To be clear, no Dude Perfect alternate stream tonight, but we've got Dolphins at Bengals. Bengals laying 3.5. Interesting. Bengals struggling a little bit. They got Cooper rushed a couple weeks ago.
They did.
Who you got, Dylan?
I'll go ahead and start off. I'm going to ride the Tuanon hot hand. He is playing tonight, as far as I understand. I know that was up in the air throughout the week, but he is playing, and giving them 3.5 points as well as they're playing, I think is a no-brainer. I think Tyreek Hill is going to go off tonight.
Tron, who you got?
You know what? I'm a massive Mike McDaniel guy, but I'm also a massive Joe Burrow guy. I think Zach Taylor is kind of a fraud, personally, but I think this is a bounce back game for the Bengals. I know they got it. I think they got it done last week. I'm gonna go Bengals. I think Dax Hill shows up on the back end for the Bengals. I think Jamar Chase has a game. I think Xavier Howard's still banged up. I don't know. I think everybody's a little bit too. I think I'm long on the Dolphins, but at the same time, I think the Bengals are much better than everybody's giving them credit for right now. And I think the Dolphins, people are going to start adjusting back to them. Granted, they haven't used Gesicki much yet, or they haven't dumped it off much yet. But I'm just not a Tua guy, so I'll bet on Burrow in prime time tonight. Go Bengals.
Okay. I feel I've watched very few Dolphins games this season. However, I did get up close and personal with the Bengals, and their O-line stinks. It stunk last year.
I was going to say it stunk last year too, right?
I thought, they thought the fix was like bring in Lyle Collins, and he got granted he got worked by the best defensive player in football, Micah Parsons. Top 3. I think I'm riding with the Fins tonight, Dylan. I'm riding with you. Me and Dylan on the Fins, yeah, for sure.
Tried then, Dave.
Okay, perfect. Let's get to it. This is good. This is where it gets good. Number 7, Kentucky at number 14, Ole Miss. Ole Miss laying 7. That's an 11 a.m. kick. Tron,
you go first.
Is that 11 a.m. Central or 11 a.m. Eastern?
There's no way to know, frankly.
It's Central. It's got to be Central.
Early ass kick. Either way. I'm going to go Kentucky. I'm a big I watched the Kentucky-Florida game a couple weeks ago on a flight back from the West Coast, and Kentucky's defense is good. And I think that quarterback, that offense is going to get better and better. I think Kentucky. I'm a big Lane Kiffin guy, but Kentucky getting 7, even on the road, I'm not worried about the home field atmosphere at Vaught Hemingway. It's a bunch of, no offense to Bunky, friend of the program, Bunky Perkins, but that's a soft fan base down there. I will go Kentucky all day long. With the quarterback, with the defense, with the running game.
Did I see Lane called out the fans after last weekend? Yeah, that was interesting. Dylan, what you got?
Two teams that I have yet to see play this year, actually, just for the sake of pissing Brett off. Hopefully he catches wind of this. I will be picking Kentucky to cover that 7 points. I'm on Kentucky.
Is Brett the northernmost T-shirt Ole Miss fan? He has to be.
Yeah, upstate New York, he's got to be for sure.
I love it. I love that he's still riding for Ole Miss. I get it. They're fun. Both of these teams kind of looked meh last weekend. A couple close games. I think I like Kentucky. A lot of people are pretty high on this Mark Stoops guy. Dylan, you familiar with him?
I'm familiar with his brother. Yeah.
Big game. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, do we all go Kentucky? Oh no. Okay, that's not a good sign, based on history. Okay, Big 12 battle here. Number 9, Okie State, the Pokes, getting 2 at Baylor. Baylor laying 2. Number 16, Baylor Bears. That's a 2:30 Central dentist time kick. I'll go first. Let me hop in. I'm going Baylor. Spencer Sanders, I think he's a really good quarterback. Okie State on a bye last weekend. I think the last time these two teams met in the Big 12 championship last year, he threw 3 or 4 picks. Granted, that was a better Baylor defense, but I'm riding with the Bears at home. Aranda's been really, really good at home. Kind of think he's got Gundy's number. I'm riding with Baylor. What say you, Tron?
I'll go. You know what, Ruff? I'll ride with you on that. I like. First of all, I hate Baylor. I think it's just a dog shit institution.
Many do.
But
Ken Starr, famously.
I feel like I'm rolling with like Jack Collinsworth or Chris Sims or Mike Florio here as far as the NBC Sunday night picks go. You may be in that neighborhood as far as your picks go, but no, I like Dave Aranda. I like defense. I think Gundy's a fraud, man. Straight up. Like I like every time he gets mentioned for any sort of job opening anywhere, I'm just like, oh my God, like the Oklahoma State people should be thrilled that somebody wants to relieve them. So
Dave, you almost had me talked into Baylor earlier. We talked about this game in the office a bit. However, Spencer Sanders, it's like his 12th year in the program, and he is absolutely balling right now. That team
A lot of
is
eligibility.
pretty good. That team is pretty good. I think they win outright. I'm sorry to say. I'm on Oklahoma State.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, wow. Yeah, KJ on Okie State too. All right, that's fine. Dude, nothing wrong with that. I get it. They looked really good through first couple of weeks, but we shall see. Somebody on this podcast might have been me, maybe threw out a Spencer Sanders dark horse Heisman like week 1. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I've been really, really bad on my my picks this year. Okay, next one we got number 10, North Carolina State at number 5, Clemson. Clemson laying 6.5. That's a night kick on ABC. Dylan.
Yeah, Clemson at home at night. I think NC State, they have at least one impressive win so far this season, don't they? Didn't they play someone like pretty decent win? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Clemson's winning by 10. I'm on Clemson.
Okay. Tron, who you got?
I think I'm going to roll with Dylan here. I'm not a Dabo guy. I'm really not an ACC guy. I try to avoid it kind of at large there. Just kind of a pretender conference. But yeah, the clip of Dabo running down the hill a few weeks ago. I mean, what a clown.
The Dabo show. I know.
I mean, what like just me first. But I read an article today on ESPN about DJ. Is it Ogalele, the quarterback? Just I guess he's back evidently. NC State always seems to kind of disappoint in big spots, in my opinion. I think ever since like the Chuck Amato year. So take all my college football picks with a grain of salt. I'm more of an NFL guy, but I will go Clemson all day long.
Yeah, he looked really good last week, and everybody was singing about their demise through the first couple of weeks just because they looked pretty meh. That is Clemson, that is. But he got it. DJU got it together last weekend. God, I don't want to go for. You know what? Just to prevent us going for like all four Clemson, I'm riding with the Wolfpack. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to do it anyway because at this point, what do I have to lose? I'm gonna be last place anyway. Give me NC State, Dylan. I should be applauded for that, by the way.
Or you're the mark, right? Like, or
That's
you're,
very
it's kind of
story of my life.
That's how DJ was this year in our DraftKings golf pool. It was kind of like, all right, like if I'm down 800 or if I'm down 2,800, it doesn't matter. Like if I might as well own the bank, right?
You were on some kind of heater. Care to share with the class? You can brag a little bit if you want. You were quite the follow.
I was. Essentially, once I got to the point where I just started making winner plays, I stopped trying to make money every week, and I just started hunting big payouts. And we had the pouch, so we had this weekly downside. If you were the last place guy that week, if you went 0 for 5, basically we do 100 points, $100, 100 nuggets, whatever you want to call it, each week across 5 plays. You can use those nuggets however you want across those 5. You don't even have to do 5. But I essentially, by the time we got to I think I hit on Joaquin Neiman at LA at the Genesis, and then after that it was like off to the races, and just went on hunches, man. And it was like, I watch enough golf to where I feel like I know course fits and I know who's hot, and I can talk to enough media, enough caddies, kind of discern like, all right, this guy's playing well, this guy's somebody to look out for, But yeah, man, it's just like once you start feeling that, it's like riding the train, man. It's like you get on the train and then you just stop doubting yourself. That's probably like the most dangerous thing in the world too, because once you get on a cold streak, you think it's going to turn around as well. But no, it's
interesting.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know what any of that's like.
No, but it was fun. It was fun. I'm ready to. I struggle this time of year because there's no big names in the field, to where you can't really like the odds are so low even for decent guys. Like Sahith Theegala this week's like 20 to 1, right? Like he's normally 45 or 50 to 1. So it's like he's not. It's like Max Homa last week was like 10 to 1, or 2 weeks ago it was 10 to 1 out in Napa. And it's like you can't really make any money on that even if you bet Max. Like Max being the overwhelming favorite is kind of a crazy thing. Like that's the kind of guy that I bet on because I know he's hungry. I know he's on the come up, and it's like, all right, I got to find the next wave of those guys coming up here. So.
Oh, got it. I'm taking notes here. I will subscribe to your newsletter whenever you decide to drop it. Let's go to the NFL. We got Vikings at Saints. Saints getting 2.5 points at home. That's in London, by the way. So do with that information what you will. But that is a London game. I will pick. I don't even know if I've picked first. I'm riding with the Vikings. I guess I'm going to watch this game. I don't know. I feel like a dork going with Kirk Cousins, but I've seen enough of the Saints to know they are not good, baby. But it's in London, so who knows how the travel is going to affect. But Dylan, who you got?
I'm also gonna ride with the Vikings. It's one of those games don't get to set your fantasy lineups the night before because you'll probably not wake up in time to set this one. Yeah, I'm on the Vikings.
God, you guys got some bots in here. You had a Ukraine bot commenter in here. That's fantastic.
Let me just say, yes, I did block that bot, but that is in no way indicative of our position on the current situation. I just want to say it's just to clean up the comments. This is not the place.
No,
Tron.
All about it. I appreciate and respect the vigilance. You're not taking sides either.
No.
I would say I think the Vikings. I watched them a little bit last week. Something's wrong with Justin Jefferson. I don't know if he's hurt or what, but he doesn't seem right. Kirk Cousins is pretty puzzling. Like, he's got all the arm strength in the world, and then he'll force these deep outs, and he converts one to Thielen, and then he just can't do the easy shit underneath. I think people are sleeping on the Saints. Regardless of who starts a quarterback for them, I would almost rather them. I'm a huge Jameis guy, but I would almost rather them put Dalton in the fold and just feed Kamara. Especially, it sounds like he's healthy this week, and the receiving course seems to be getting better. Olave's, I don't know. I'm a Saints believer. As a Falcons guy, that hurts me to say, but give me the Saints with the points.
Will the NFL acknowledge Her Majesty the Queen? Just asking.
Yes.
You gotta think they got a little something planned, right? Like maybe like a t-shirt cannon they bring out and they shoot out Queen tees or something. I don't know.
I don't know if that's what it is, but something. Yeah.
They should let Jameis, make a statement of sorts, right?
Would love nothing more.
Do a kind of break it down for the Queen kind of thing.
That's in his wheelhouse for sure.
Eat a dub for the Queen.
Eat a Q.
Jags at Eagles. The Eagles land 6.5. That's a noon game on CBS. Jags at Eagles. Interesting game. Eagles look pretty good through a few weeks here. Tron, who you got?
Yeah, this one's tough, man. I think Jags are coming off a big win. Chargers are obviously banged up last week, so I wouldn't put quite as much stock in that. But the Jags are flying around. That said, I'm not a Sirianni guy. I'm not a dog mentality guy either. I'm still going to go Eagles, though. I think that's better ball club. I think the Jags are they're punching above their weight right now. It's time to bring them down another notch. Defense is, I think it probably depends on if Darius Slay's playing or not. But if defense is, somewhat healthy for the Eagles, I'm going Eagles. I think, they've got all sorts of weaponry on the outside, and then Jags are just, I think they're still, when like Marvin Jones is your number one or number two receiving threat, like it's tough to come back from.
I'm going to fade the guest. I'm riding with the Jags. I believe in what Urban built in his short time in Jax. Dylan, who you got?
I want to live in a world where a Jalen Hurts-led Eagles team is good, but right now they're playing really well. I don't know if it's going to stay true all season, but for the time being, they look to be pretty legit on offense. I'm on the Eagles to cover the 6.5.
Fair. Bills at Ravens. Ravens getting 3 points at home. Interesting. Dylan, who you got?
Ooh, this is gonna be a good game, man. Gosh, I wish you didn't pick me first here, but since
I'll go first.
I'll
go first.
No, it's all right. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Yeah, you're giving the Ravens points. You're giving the Ravens points at home.
Man, Lamar is just playing his ass off right now.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, like, this is a dumb question, but like the Bills had a little bit of trouble in Miami with the humidity, a lot of dehydration. Have they recovered? Are they going to be able to get it together? I don't know. I think they are. I'm riding with the Bills. Let's go. Tron, who you got?
Gosh, I'm a big Lamb guy. I have some concerns about the Ravens back end. It seems worse than it's ever been, even with the addition of Kyle Hamilton, who went to my high school, but he might be like exceptionally slow. From a not from a brain power perspective, but from like a speed perspective.
Okay.
Watching the Bills, just a couple weeks ago, do whatever they wanted against the Titans. I'm going Bills, man. I think the Bills are, this is a get back game for them. I think the Ravens, I just don't think they have enough weapons. Like Bateman looks good. I like that Isaiah Likely kid at tight end, but they're still unsettled at running back. I think the Bills are. Diggs is playing hungry. I'd like to see them get the kid from Georgia more involved in the running game. Poyer's a little bit banged up, but I don't know. I think there's it's like Josh Allen, like when he's operating, can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's crazy.
Big facts. Big facts. And finally, Sunday night, Chiefs at Bucks. Game, I don't know if we know where it's played yet, maybe Minnesota, but the Bucks either way are getting one at this time. Interesting. I will go first. I don't really know the status of the Bucks receiving core. I know they did not look good last weekend. I'm riding with the Chiefs. Not really nothing fancy here. Sunday night game. I like Mahomes over Brady. Again, this is a lot could change because I don't know where this is getting played, but I'm riding with the Chiefs. Tron, who you got?
So I saw that if they move it, they're going to move it to Minnesota, which I don't think that probably favors the Chiefs, if anything. But God, I'm not a Brady guy. I'm not a Bucks guy at all. And Dylan, I know you're a big Jackson Mahomes guy. So
he's so electric, man. How could you not be a Jackson Mahomes guy?
I'm going Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are back. I think they're still lamenting not paying Tyreek, but I don't know. I think the Bucks are a flawed team this year. I don't think they have quite enough depth, and they're going to be lucky enough on the injury front. Let's go Chiefs.
Dylan.
Yeah, that O-line is really banged up for the Bucks. I really think Brady is done. I mean, he's got just barely anything left in the tank at this point.
Wow.
They're gonna win 11 games this year, and he's gonna ride off into the sunset. Anyway,
it's a pretty good season.
We're all in the Chiefs. Of course, he's Tom Brady. I mean, that for him, he's
he's a system quarterback. He's a system quarterback. Are we not going to pick the Cowboys game?
Look, KJ put this together. If you want to look, I know I was trying to keep all the Dak slander out of this live stream, man.
That's part of the reason I hop onto this kind of thing, to piss off a bunch of Texas people, though, right?
Well, give me your take. Give me your Cowboys Commanders official Trump. You can make it your big boy stack if you want. It's big boy stack time anyway.
Yeah.
Do what you want. This is your lock of the week, so to speak. I don't know.
I think there's some other interesting games this week. I'm super curious. Like Titans Colts, I think is fascinating. I think that I hate the Titans, but I'm a Frank Reich guy. But I think Frank Reich might be mega fraudulent. So I think Colts are on the hot seat this week. Bears Giants. Let's see if the Giants can beat a shitty team with the Bears and kind of stay in everybody's good graces. There's some bad teams playing each other this week, which is kind of like we haven't had that the last couple of weeks. Lions Seahawks, for instance.
Ugh.
Dan Campbell, kind of everybody's darling right now, the Lions, but Seahawks can still run the ball. They're still good up front. But yeah, I would say, I don't know, Cowboys wise, I was a little bit blown away at everybody just making excuses for Dak a few weeks ago with
I don't know if that's what was happening
before he got hurt. Basically, before he got hurt, it was like, all right, they don't have any talent on offense. All right, what's CeeDee Lamb? What's Dalton Schultz? What's Tyron Smith? There's Pollard's a dog, man. Pollard's a stud. Zeke's whatever, but they got, I know Gallup's going to come back and all that. I know the rest of the offensive line is banged up, and it's bad coaching, but man, I'm not a Dak guy. I think Dak is he is a slightly upgraded version of Andy Dalton.
Oh my God. What's your big boy stack? I don't even want to acknowledge that.
Yeah, give us your big boy stack. I've heard enough of you.
Are you guys both Dak guys?
I'm a Cowboys
I mean, because
guy,
we
so, I
have
mean,
to
I
be.
kinda
Yeah,
have to be
look, we are.
No, I
Look,
know.
we drank
There's
the
a big
Kool-Aid.
difference, though. I finally got, and he'll get
Dak
pissed
is
when I
a
say this. I finally
Dak
got
is a
Chad on this
T.
side of things, where Chad's like, dude, I can't say anything but I kind of hear you at this point. And
Dak is a tier 2 NFL quarterback. He's
no,
not
he's
a tier
tier 3 NFL
He's a
quarterback.
tier
He's like a
2.
tier 1 guy.
He's in the meaty part of the second tier of NFL quarterbacks. Good enough to get you there with the pieces around him.
But he's being paid like a mid-tier 1 guy.
Yes,
Yes, we waited too long to sign him. It hurt. I know. Look, this is my life. This is what I deal with as a Cowboy fan. Who is your big boy stack of the week, though, Tron?
Oh, can I go off the board?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's
We
encouraged.
encourage that, actually. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Niners. Niners.
Okay.
What's that line?
I don't even know what the line is. I'm gonna go money line on that one.
Ooh.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's
Okay.
allowed. All right.
It's not,
Hopefully-
but we
hopefully
might
I
make
get
an
some sort
exception
of, like,
because
Ooh,
we need the dub here.
Niners Broncos.
No,
Let's
Niners.
ride.
Niners Broncos was last week.
Oh,
Niners
you're
won.
right.
Yeah, Mr. Unlimited took him down. I can't. I hate Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's got a little noodle arm. He's essentially he's like Matt Ryan light.
All right, the line.
Reads, but yeah.
It's Niners -1.5 at home against the Rams. So
Wait, they're
I'll
the
give you the money
favorite?
line. They're the favorite, yeah.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Actually,
you know
because
what?
of the favorite, you can't do money line.
All right, I'll still go. Niners -1.5.
-1.5. All right.
Ooh, okay. I'll go. So KJ is going Indiana, Nebraska under 60. Interesting, fun game there. I'm sure. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something adventurous. I think I'm gonna go Western Kentucky, laying 5 over Troy. Western Kentucky, if I've got my math right, they're like top 10 in O-line blocking success rate. I was looking into some deep stats. So I'm going to ride with Western Kentucky. Dylan, who you got?
That seems like a Dan special.
Actually, close, but not Dan.
Did he give it to you? Okay. Since hashtag Chad has been a recurring figure during this live stream, I might as well mention him again here, and hopefully this pick makes him happy. Arkansas is getting 17.5 points at home against Alabama. Arkansas lost a pretty tough one to Texas A&M last weekend. I think they're going to come out fighting, a little redemption story here. I think they're going to flirt with an upset. They're not going to upset, but they're going to flirt with it. Going to make it very interesting. But they will cover that really big line at home.
Love it. Dylan, great pick. Great pick. Tron, great picking. Thank you for popping on. Any parting thoughts? Where can the folks at home find you?
Just at Tron Carter NLU, at No Laying Up on all the different socials. Dylan, you're gonna squeeze every last bit of juice out of we lost to Alabama in very close fashion thing.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're gonna you guys could go 9-3, and you're gonna be like, oh well, you know what? Doesn't matter. We lost to Alabama. You guys could go.
I just predicted a 7-5 season, Tron. My hopes are not high right now. Okay, they did play well against Alabama though, and I will continue.
Exactly. I'm not saying it's even wrong. I'm just saying you're going to maximize every little bit of juice there. Last thing, I'd just like to give a shout out to my beloved Miami Redhawks. Got their first non-conference Power 5 victory in 8 or 9 years last week over the Northwestern Wildcats. They were facing off against the Buffalo Bills, or I think the Buffalo Bulls this week in a match.
Shout out Will DeFreeze
showdown. And I think hopefully they keep it going. Hopefully they don't, so they can fire the coach at the end of the season because the guy's dog shit. So
bring in Urban maybe. Interesting.
I wish we had that kind of budget.
Tron, thank you so much for doing this.
You're the man, Tron. Thank you.
Dylan, thank you. We will see y'all next Monday. Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips